is going on up here?
Hey, welcome to the Bill Mullarky Show, episode 1, the pilot episode. Thank you for joining. My name is Bill Mullarky. Welcome to my home. I have some books in the background. I've never read any of them. They're just there to make you think that I read books. So, this is the first video podcast that I've made. I've been wanting to make video podcasts for a long time. I love watching YouTube videos. I sit all day during quarantine watching YouTube videos, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube video podcast. So here we are. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, that intro was pretty sweet, right? I would give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell for notifications. I had to get that shameless plug in, but it really means a lot to the growth of this channel. So thank you if you have done that. So this week, I don't have a guest. But in the future, I think I'm going to start having a weekly guest and do a 5 or 10 minute interview with a guest. So that should be something to look forward to in the future. I'm going to try not to say or That's my goal for this show. My other goals for this show, according to my show notes, are to be high energy, to be positive, to slow down, to speak in full sentences, and to not mumble, to speak with eloquence. So, this should be fun. See how it goes. I want it to be tight, but also loose, you know? Subject number 2, topic number 2, college. So, I want to talk about my college experience. I don't want to do a life story here, but I dropped out of college at West Virginia University when I was 23 or 24, and I went back to school here in Austin, Texas at ACC, and I, in August, graduated with an associate's degree in economics. I also finished a digital assistant photography certification at ACC Northridge, which was a blast, and met a lot of really cool, interesting people that I'm still friends with. And now I am transferring to a mostly online university called Thomas Edison State University. And I applied for the BSBA in general management, and I think it was $50 for the application, plus I had to send my transcripts from WVU and ACC, so it was probably like $25 for both transcripts sent. And it turns out I have 144 past college credits, which is a lot of college credits.
I'm not a smart
and
man.
Thomas Edison is willing to accept 96 of them, which means that I'm 24 credits away from a bachelor's degree. I'm almost 30, but a bachelor's degree would be great for me. So that's something I'm working on right now, and I'm pretty excited about finishing that up so I can hang it on the wall and make my mom proud. So yeah, I'm doing some online classes right now. Subject number 3. Joe Rogan now lives in Austin. He's an Austinite. The JRE podcast is an Austin-based podcast, which is really exciting because it's one of the biggest podcasts in the world, And we all know how big podcasts are these days, am I right? Also, his boy Brian Redband, who started the podcast with him, is also moving to Austin. Recently, Joe Rogan made an appearance at a Tony Hinchcliffe show, and I have a funny Tony Hinchcliffe story. So, I think about 3 years ago, my cousin tweeted Tony Hinchcliffe that Tony Hinchcliffe was doing a comedy set in Austin, and he wanted someone to film it. So my cousin was like, well, Bill makes weird videos, maybe he could film it. So sure enough, he tweeted Tony Hinchcliffe that I was able to do it. After a couple messages on Twitter, I ended up filming a set with Tony Hinchcliffe, a comedy set. You can find it on YouTube out there somewhere, at Cap City, which is now closed, unfortunately. But yeah, so it was just an interesting night. Got to hang out in the green room a little bit and shoot the shit with Tony Hinchcliffe, who's, I guess he's a well-known comedian. I don't know. He acts like he's well-known. I don't want to knock the Hinchcliffe, but he's it was just an interesting night. So maybe he'll move to Austin. Who knows? Because I think Red Band produces and does the Kill Tony show that Tony Hinchcliffe produces weekly, or made weekly before the pandemic. So we'll see how that goes. Joe Rogan made an appearance at the Tony Hinchcliffe show a week ago, which is pretty cool. I think Joe Rogan has plans to buy a comedy club since Cap City closed. So we'll see where that all goes. I think it's all good news for Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas has a lot going on right now. They approved a Tesla factory to build those mega trucks, those futuristic looking weird trucks. And Elon Musk likes it here. Elon Musk has a lot of connections to Texas. He has the SpaceX facility down in South Texas that I traveled to a couple months ago. And now he has a gigafactory, and he's buddies with Greg Abbott, the governor. So that's another promising thing about Austin. And one more thing about Austin. This isn't really related to Joe Rogan, but the FC Austin Stadium is 10 minutes from my apartment, and it's almost completed. So Austin has their first official sports team in Austin, and it's 10 minutes from my apartment, which is rad. And I kind of like soccer. I've been to a couple DC United games when I was a kid. I think the season tickets are already sold out or something like that, but knowing it's MLS, I think Austin, even though it's Austin and the fan base seems really pumped, you have Matthew McConaughey out there pumping people up and being a brand ambassador for the team, which is great, helping the growth of the MLS and the FC Austin Verde team. But knowing it's MLS soccer, I think next year the tickets will be a lot cheaper. We'll see if I'm right in that guess, because it's hard selling. Americans don't like soccer. I think they could, but we eat too much meat, and we like to watch barbarians bash each other on the gridiron football field. That's just what we like. So we'll see if soccer catches on, football. But it is the world's most famous sport. So, and there's a large Hispanic population in Texas. So I think it'll do well. I honestly could see the Austin community really rallying behind their first official sports team. And Austin is niche weird, and I feel like we could really get behind a soccer team. So go Verde. I hope to make it to a game this year if that's possible. Next topic, music. So if you can't tell from the sitar beside me and the guitars and banjos, and I'm a musician in Austin, and I haven't released any music for a couple years now, 1 or 2 years. which is kind of intentional. I feel like I should explain a little bit why I haven't put out music. Basically, the reason is I'm waiting until there's something that I really like, and I don't want to put out anything that I don't like. In the past, my philosophy was to release as much as I could and to write as much as I could and throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, which was great. And there's a real beauty to doing that, and it helps you learn a lot about what kind of musician or artist, if you want to be pretentious about it, you want to be, and what you want to say with your lyrics, and what kind of music you want to make, and what kind of music you can make. So that was a great learning experience for me. But I have been working on music. I have a lot of half-produced, half-written demos that I just have on my computer, Logic Pro, produced. I think I'm going to finish a song called New Orleans, which I've put a lot of time and energy in. I think I have 200 or 300 tracks on it, and it's about halfway done. Still finishing off the last verse and bridge part of the song before the chorus at the end. So look forward to that, and when it comes out, it would be great if you supported me by sharing it and listening to it if you like it. But if you don't like it, then you don't have to. I appreciate you just being here. All new music that I release is going to be under a band name of Relatives. I've had a couple Relatives shows. There's a couple members of Relatives, Daniel and Dan and Liz and Dalton and Matt, to name a couple. It's kind of like a collective of musicians. It's something that's just in my head that I have dreams of finishing, or dreams of... I just feel like I didn't want to go by Bill Mullarky anymore. I wanted to make something that's bigger than me and bigger than any single person. I wanted to make something that had legs that could take potentially my music career or whatever to the next level. So, I don't know. I feel like part of being a songwriter or a musician or an artist is being able to dream and have a little bit of romance towards passions, and just, you have to be a little bit delusional and a little bit naive to follow your dreams and to try to make something out of nothing. So, yeah, along with new music that I'm working on, I'm almost at 1,000 streams for my song I Just Want to Dance on Spotify. I think I'm at 766 in the 3 or 4 years that it's been out. So that'll be exciting when I get there on Spotify, when it goes past under 1,000 to like 1,001. I'm not counting. Who's counting? But it would be nice to see that number be over 1,000. So play that on repeat until it happens. Make it happen, internet. I believe in you. Make it happen. Just play it overnight. Fall asleep to it playing. Make a playlist and just play it over and over. And we'll have a little party whenever I hit over 1,000 streams. It doesn't even have to be that song, but I think that's the song that's going to go over 1,000. Speaking of Spotify and music streaming services, I recently had a payout from my music distributor, DistroKid, which is an online distributor. I have over, I think, 8,500 total streams on Spotify, and I think I've sold 3 albums on iTunes, which, hey, I'm happy somebody bought it. It's great for me. I'm surprised anybody's out there listening. When I see that I have 16 monthly listeners on Spotify, I'm like, wow, there's 16 people that are listening to me out there. That's not me. I mean, one of them probably is me, because I like to listen to myself. But thank you to anybody that has been playing or streaming my music and watching my YouTube videos. I have almost 2,000 I have 1,700, I think, views on my Pop Cliches music video where I went to South America. So thank you for watching that and giving it a like. Moving on to the next topic. Reading the news. So I bought an Austin American Statesman for $2 at the gas station where I live for some hashtag content and news. I read it over a little bit. There's nothing that I didn't already know pretty much by following news accounts on Twitter and politicians on Twitter. And it probably wasn't worth $2, but it's nice aesthetics to just have a newspaper in front of you and act like you're reading it on a podcast. So here we are. Texas officials outline vaccine plan. So there's two different, I don't think that you're going to get your news from me, but there's two potential vaccines, and they're going to give it to high risk people first. Let's see what this is. First in line are healthcare workers, staffers in long-term facilities, emergency medical service workers, home health care workers, and those at greater risk of becoming severely ill if they contract COVID-19, which is great news. I think I'm fingers crossed that we're nearing the light at the end of the tunnel with the pandemic. I feel like everybody's just been a little bit bogged down this year with it. Obviously, wearing a mask and not being able to hug your mom is tough, and we've all had to go through it. But there's light at the end of the tunnel, I hope. So keep an eye on that. Hope it works out. I think it will. I'm confident in America, and I think we'll be able to get through it. We're almost there. Just give it a couple more months. We'll be there. Along with that, the General Service Administration says to let Biden transition begin, which is
fake news.
Good for the safety of all Americans to have a president that knows what's going on
you are fake news.
Internationally, and you got to have a president that knows what's up.
Fake news.
Because knowledge is power, and he can start planning for things that are going to happen. I know the Austin American Statesman is somewhat liberal, biased.
I don't know what
Austin is
newspaper you're reading, but I guess that would be another example of,
Steve
as you
Adler
say,
is very liberal.
fake news.
So
You are fake news.
take that news with a grain of salt. Cum grano salis for those Latin-speaking people. I took Latin in high school. That's what that got me. Moving on to the next topic. Things that I don't like. Now, I don't want to be too cynical here. But when somebody says, way to go, as a congratulatory expression, I've never really understood that. I feel like I'm doing a stand-up bit right now. I'm not a stand-up comedian, but it's just a weird thing that I've noticed. Way to go. It's like, that's a one way to go, but if I were you, I probably would have gone another way. I think I'm bombing. Comedy's hard. I'm not a comedian. I gotta stick to playing the sitar, which I don't know how to play. Okay, moving on. Next topic. Thanksgiving. So today is Wednesday, November 25th. Tomorrow is Thursday, November 26th. Today is Thanksgiving Eve. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. Happy Turkey Day. I hope you're able to spend time with people that you love, and I hope you're able to get fat on some turkey or whatever you want to eat. If that's not your jam, eat some Doritos. No, eat something healthy. I don't know, some kale or some avocados. I don't know. Don't eat avocados alone. That'd be weird. Put it on some toast. Eat some... What do people eat for Thanksgiving? Turkey. Cranberry sauce. Is that a thing? I think it is. Bread. Just go eat some bread. It'll be good for you. I want to say things that I'm thankful for because it's Thanksgiving. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my mom. I'm thankful for Austin, Texas. I've lived here for 5 years now, and I think it's been a place where I've been able to grow and learn and take my time. It's a place that you can tell people what you think you are, and nobody will look at you too weird. Back in Pennsylvania and West Virginia, where I'm from, I think people thought I was weird because I wanted to be a musician. But in Austin, it seems like everybody's a musician. Everybody and their brother have a band, which is kind of awesome. It's a creative city. It's beautiful. We have the Colorado River and the Green Belt. So I just want to say thanks to Austin and all the great people I've met here over the years. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Jones at Great American Smiles. I need to come in for a checkup, but she hooks it up with HAM, the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, and she does free cleanings for musicians. So give her a good review on Google, and thank you, Dr. Jones. I'm also thankful for my car, my 2008 Ford Focus 2-door. I think we're nearing 80,000 or 90,000 miles, somewhere in that range in my car. And I need to get an oil change. Recently went to Colorado a couple months ago. It ran like a gem, except coming down the hills, that's a whole nother story. My rotors were getting hot, but they needed some grease. I don't want to get into it right now. I'm also thankful for my condo. I don't want to say where I'm from, so I might bleep that out, because I don't want weirdos coming here. You know who you are, you weirdo. I'm thankful for my condo. Thankful that I've been able to live here for 3.5 years and play music, and nobody's hated me too much that they've complained. No complaints, surprisingly. I'm also thankful for technology to be able to broadcast my idea of a video podcast out there. And thankful for Bob Dylan, because he's a wealth of... I'm just naming things now. Bob Dylan, because he is a wealth of songs and a poet. I know real poets hate when I say that Bob Dylan is a poet, but he's a poet. He's written a lot of words, and just something that would make you a poet. So, shout out to Bobby D. I'm also thankful for tacos. I've been eating a lot of tacos every day. I make hash browns and eggs and bacon and put it in a taco, and it's made me very happy. So thank you for tacos. Those are the things that I'm thankful for. Moving on to the next topic, my small business of the day. So my small business of the day today is the Velvet Cafe in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. The Velvet Cafe is a family restaurant in my hometown, and it's run by the Wishard family. I worked there when I was 16 or 17 years old. I know a lot of small businesses are struggling with the pandemic. A lot of restaurants, service industry, folks could use your tips. So if you're in Waynesboro and you're local, go in there and order grilled ham and cheese, coffee, and it'll be delicious. You won't regret it. They're not paying me to say this, but I just wanted to give a shout out to Dave, and I love the Velvet Cafe, so just wanted to throw that out there. Moving on to the next topic is my job hunt. Speaking of job hunt, if I was in Waynesboro, I would go back to the Velvet Cafe. I've been interviewing at local places I want a part-time job, like 20 hours a week. I feel like that Dumb and Dumber quote where he's like, who wants to work 40 hours a week? Well, I don't really want to work 40 hours a week. Unless you want to work 40 hours a week. I just need to pay my HOA fees and insurance and a couple expenses, and I can make it work. But I've had a couple job interviews, which has been a learning experience for me. I interviewed at the Home Depot. As I said, this is my condo. I've been doing some renovations. I recently painted my cabinets, and I want to do some tile floors. So I thought Home Depot would be. I've been going there every day. Might as well see if I can get a job stocking shelves or being a parking lot attendant, just doing something. Maybe get a discount. I don't know how that works there. Well, I had an interview there. Didn't go well. I also had an interview at the laundromat down the street, and that did go well, but they don't have any openings right now, or the one that I had interviewed for had gotten filled up the day before. So I'm waiting to hear back from there. I could totally see myself being an attendant and just reading a book and chilling out, especially if it's the laundromat down the street, because that would be super convenient for me. And also, if you know anybody that needs photography work or can do a socially distant gig, let me know. I'm interested. I haven't played a gig since April because of the pandemic. I know a lot of musician friends have been playing, but I just I haven't felt comfortable doing it, so I haven't. I also had a phone interview with Omni Resort, being a golf cart attendant, and I think I don't know. It's just hard because I haven't had a real job. I've been a working musician for 4 years, and before that I was a barista in Morgantown, West Virginia. I don't have a great resume. My resume is like self-employed artist, and employers don't really want to hire self-employed artists. So if you're watching this and you can give me a part-time work, I'm interested. Send me an email at mullarkymusic@gmail.com. And moving on to our last subject of the day, support the show. If you enjoyed the show, if I made you think or laugh, or you've just been hanging out, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Leave a like. Comment. Comment a turkey. If you comment a turkey emoji if you watched to this point. Leave it in the comments. First person that leaves a comment of a turkey emoji will get a postcard. I'll send you a message or something. I'll send you a season greetings postcard. So turkey emojis. I want to see the comments, just turkey emojis. If you want to Venmo me, at Bill Mullarky on Venmo, mullarkymusic@gmail.com for PayPal. You can leave me a tip on YouTube. It's very much appreciated. Tell your friends about the show. Post about it on social media. Do all the things. Follow at Bill Mullarky on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And if you're interested in being a guest, as I said, I'm going to have a weekly guest on here. I think I want to do musicians mostly, but if you're an artist or small business owner or an entrepreneur, and I'm also open to having other interesting people. If you have a good story or you can make me laugh, or just send me an email. And with that being said, that's the end of the show. Thanks for watching. Bill Mullarky Show, episode 1 is in the books. Peace out. Later.